out and get a seat. See what you can do, okay? And I'm gonna pay. Stand in front of me, yes,
Sure.
The fence line and the bleacher section, or between the bleacher sections. You'll have to find a seat unless you're in a wheelchair. Okay, otherwise you'll have to sit in the other area on the side of the building. So again, we've asked people to move together as much as they can, but this area must be clear as a safety precaution.
Mom, can you please
Propulsion
sit
mechanic
down?
in 2006 contributed to the safe delivery of nearly every RL-10 engine through his last mission, NROL 68 in 2023. A loving husband, Brett was also a tireless volunteer, deeply committed to helping others, including 3 trips to the Bahamas in 2019 to support residents following Hurricane Dorian. This effort led Mark to logging more than 600 volunteer hours and being recognized as Aerojet Rocketdyne's 2019 Volunteer of the Year. Brent was kind and generous and a role model to many people. He will be missed. George Lucian began his career in 1960 as an electrical systems engineer with the General Dynamics Corporation. Following his time at the University of Nebraska, where he earned a bachelor's degree in mathematics. In 1964, after working at the General Electric Company on the Apollo program, George began a new chapter at the Goddard Space Flight Center, followed by a move to the Kennedy Space Center. During his NASA career, George was an engineer, branch chief, division chief, and assistant launch manager, all in support of NASA's Expendable Launch Vehicle Services program. His career spanned 60 years and more than 400 launches. George was an invaluable team member, a mentor to many, and a true friend to all.
T-minus 5 minutes.
Now, you might be a little confused by the T-minus 5 minutes. He really means T-minus 5 minutes. That's funny, it's a different time. Well, no, what happens is this. They'll count down to T-minus 4 minutes, then we're going to have a 15-minute hold. Okay? So that's what happens. So we're counting down for another minute. I'll say T-minus 4 minutes and holding. We will pause there until 4 minutes before launch time. That's to give us some time to see if there's any problems or difficulties and fix those things before the launch, okay? So they'll say T-minus 4 minutes and hold. It's what we call a built-in hold.
T-minus 4:18. We anticipate entering the hold in just a few moments.
T-minus 4 minutes. 15-minute built-in hold.
Okay, you just heard the launch conductor today, Scott Barney. Scott and I began working together on the shuttle program back in 1988. So I've known Scott for about 36 years. He'll be the launch conductor today. And again, we just entered the 15-minute hold. We'll resume the count at the 4-minute mark. So right now we're at 4 minutes and holding. Now, very, very important. Many of the most important systems of the vehicle do not get turned on until the last few minutes. So one of the things that guests assume is, oh, you're getting this close to launch, we're going to launch. No, we came out of the built-in hold a few weeks ago at T-minus 4 minutes. 2 seconds later, the countdown stopped. It's T-minus 3 minutes, 58 seconds because the computer system detected a problem. Again, that launch can stop at any time. So, it's very important to pay close attention after that count resumes at 4 minutes. At that point, a lot of the systems will turn on for the first time. Things like batteries, we want to conserve them as much as possible, so we make sure they give them a little operating time that they don't need. So in other words, maximize the use of everything on board. Now, again, the 15-minute hold will stop at 12:49. At that point, we should go clear to launch. But again, we can hold at any point up to ignition. The last critical steps, about 14 seconds before launch, we have what we call ROFI ignition. That stands for Radial Outward Firing Initiators. They're the little sparklers that you might have seen during the shuttle launches. Their purpose is to ignite any hydrogen near the rocket engine. We don't want to blast a flame into hydrogen, same type of stuff that destroyed the Hindenburg. So we want to make sure all that hydrogen is out of the area. Then the rocket engines, there's 3 of them today. Each of those will ignite. The starboard one will go on first. A little over a second later, the port and the core ones will turn on. And at 0, we'll lift off. And again, we'll go back to the countdown. Again, everything seems to be going well. We come out of the countdown 4 minutes before launch. At that point, if there's any other holds, that is a not scheduled hold. This is a scheduled hold that lasts 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
We started this program with a tremendous task of continuing the Delta mission success tradition.
Yes, we did. Heavy lift workforce supporting the missions that no other vehicle could. And
Wait,
heavy
no, my
duty
battery's only gone down to 1.
was different.
There's a tower there. There's a tower there.
Yeah.
There's probably something I can't see directly.
In just a minute or two, we'll be closing off the area here, so make sure you find a seat. You will not be allowed to stand between the bleacher sections and the fence line.
To impact the nation and what we can do, our technologies, as well as our reach into space. It's just an honor. There's no other way to say it.
Look at my bag.
Look at what we, as part of the team, have done to improve life on Earth. All things to be extremely proud of.
The first launch kind of kept your fingers crossed and your toes crossed. Y'all
6.5 minutes.
stood out in being part of the factory here and watching it. It's just something that you would say whatever makes you comfortable for that very first launch.
Watching the Delta
Jacob said
4
it's
Heavy
history.
right outside the door of the Delta Operations Center and feeling the vibration and just amazement.
I was at the
Where?
launch site in
that tiny
the
little
dawn for that L-26.
That
To experience when that thing lifted off of the acoustics, hitting that facility and literally
I don't
seeing the
even know
windows
that. I thought you
flex
said it was on
from the acoustics of that liftoff was something I will never forget.
I've been down to the launch site, been on the pad, been on
It said the astronaut of the day is Bob.
heavy vehicle.
He's not going on there, so
Been part of the
It's gonna be a girl. It
activities.
says Bob the astronaut.
So I've
It
seen
said
it
astronaut of the day. That means like most important
that's not where they go when I
astronaut.
say
Oh yeah.
People that are just arriving, make sure you have a seat. If you will not be allowed to stand between the fence line and the bleacher section, you cannot stand on the walkways between the bleachers. You cannot stand between the bleacher areas. All of these are emergency evacuation routes.
Why do we need to?
that all of our launches accomplished what we wanted and delivered the payload
What's connected?
that we built across all the different suppliers and across the program itself. It's a really complex vehicle, and so being able to bring the whole team together and deliver Delta brought over people who were
How can you use it?
whether it
Nope, water.
be the operations center
Jacob, you do not need to record the ground.
together.
A wasting battery. Wasting battery in my street. It doesn't care.
The whole process, the team sport, and the team has done nothing but a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
Take a pride in your work
Yeah,
and
I
turn
think
everything.
the thing wouldn't even fly. Some guy.
Well, it's bittersweet, of course. We all thought we could do this a lot later because we love it so much.
They don't just say, what if we got the rocket? It wouldn't even fly.
I don't know if it's going to be that one or if it's behind the trees. I can never imagine. I don't think it's a rocket at that one.
I'm just proud to be part of this team and was able to better my community by working alongside of it. And amazing.
The legacy of Delta will live on.
Nobody's over there talking. Video recorded. I know. Who said that?
Have taken the message that Delta has accomplished and carrying it forward.
I don't like kids. They make my ears hurt. I don't know. I don't know. No, here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a
right now, about 12 minutes to launch.
Yeah,
About 8 minutes remaining in the planned built-in hold, that 15-minute hold. Again, many of the critical systems will be turned on just
This is history.
Then yeah, I should probably team is go for launch. From T-minus 4 minutes until liftoff, you'll hear Scott Barney and the team performing the final steps in the countdown procedure. Several critical activities occur in the final minutes before launch, including verifying fuel tank levels and pressures in the 3 boosters and DCSS, in addition to arming the flight termination system. At T-minus 1 minute, the range operations commander confirms the range is in a green condition for launch. At T-minus 15 seconds, the launch table HBOs at the base of the rocket are ignited to burn off excess hydrogen. At T-minus 7 seconds, the starboard engine is ignited. At T-minus 5 seconds, the port and center engines are ignited. Once the Delta IV Heavy lifts off, you'll hear flight commentator Rob Bennett providing launch vehicle ascent data.
CD, verify airspeed, configure for launch. CD on net 1, SV, configure for launch. Roger. CD on. Roger. All steps are complete prior to...
Are you already recording again? Yeah.
Okay, the terminal count will begin in 15 seconds. I'll say T-minus 4 minutes and counting.
Absolutely. It's 4 minutes away.
Yeah, watch it and then go.
This is Delta Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. We anticipate releasing the hold in just a few moments.
What does he mean by releasing?
T-minus 4 minutes and counting.
Okay, the final part of the countdown has started. Now, one thing to keep very much in mind, look at the big video. That video has a delay on it, okay? So when you hear the voices on the network, you'll hear T-minus 15, 14. The rocket will be leaving by then, okay? So if you just stare at the screen, you're going to be out of luck, okay? Because there is a delay. Right now it's about 20 seconds or so. So, one final time, where are you looking? Big vehicle assembly building. Just to the left of that is a brown tan building. Beyond that is a gray building. Between the two buildings are two structures. The one on the right is Launch Complex 37B. That's where you're going to be looking. Secondly, when we get to the 2-minute mark coming up, I'm going to ask everyone to stay where you are. Many of you arrived here hours ago when I arrived at 9:30. If you're sitting, stay sitting. If you're standing on that back row, stay standing. We want everybody to stay in their position. It's very upsetting. We have people here from all over the world today. If at the last minute somebody's been waiting for that launch picture and some guy in front of them stands up and can't get it. So stay in your position, okay? Do not stand up. There's a chance you might fall over. We don't want anybody to get hurt. So if you're sitting, stay sitting. If you're standing, stay standing. Everybody freeze in position right now about 2 minutes before launch. Remember that screen is going to still show the countdown when we might already be flying.
I think you would hear it if it's long. It's launching right now. He said we still have about 2 minutes. My hands are so sweaty, it's getting
T-minus 2 minutes. The rocket, payload, ground system, and eastern range are go for launch.
Okay, we just gone to internal power, which means that the ground power supplied by Florida Power and Light is terminated. We're using the flight batteries inside the rocket to power the rocket.
PM
Put the
Eastern.
popcorn down and pay attention.
SCS launch table. SCS on.
That's the destruct system that's just been armed.
Minus 120. OCU's armed. SCS count started.
instructions? No.
T-minus 1 minute. Go for main engine
T-minus
start.
1 minute.
Rock, report range status. Range green.
Okay, range green means the range safety officer confirms everything in the area, no boats in the area, no planes in the area.
Second stage LH2 secure at flight level.
Second stage now pressurized to flight level.
Status check. Go Delta. Go NROL 70.
Okay, look at the area between the two buildings, and we have ignition.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We have ignition. 2, 1. And liftoff of the final United Launch Alliance.
Again, the sound is going to take about 40 seconds to reach here.
Reconnaissance Office enclosing Delta's 6-decade legacy of excellence in space.
I couldn't really get on camera, but I oh well, Kai's gonna be mad. Whoa. Kai's gonna be so mad that he didn't get on camera. Oh wait. It already looked like it got blown. I wonder how many decibels this is. No! Where is it? Just shut off. It's already in the
Where's that mid-power level? Or starboard strap-on, still operating at power level.
At this point in the flight, the middle booster has toggled down. If you take a close look at the film, at the video, you'll notice not as much power coming out of the center that's expected. 1 minute 18 seconds, we'll go through Mach 1, the speed of sound.
Oh God.
Reactor control system. Perspective ready ignite system for operation.
About 3 minutes, 58 seconds into the flight. Right now, you're looking at a camera looking backwards towards the ground. The two strap-on core booster cores will separate from the Delta IV. So you'll see it fall away. So only the core or the middle booster will continue to fire. Now that will occur at the 3 minute 57 second mark in the count. You'll see this booster fall away. Again, the core booster and the port booster and the starboard booster, all three boosters, the middle one will continue to fire. The port and starboard will fall away 3 minutes 57 seconds after launch, about a minute and a half from now. That center stage will continue to fire for an additional minute and a half before it separates.
Is it still on the sky?
Okay, bring as expected.
Now, if you look to the left of the screen, you can see the clouds of our area now looking down from above. Okay, you can see between the two boosters, right in the middle, you see the separation period between the two beacons. He was just recently talking about BECO, that is the booster engine cutoff.
And the vehicle is now 1/2, it's liftoff weight. The engine's operating normally, everything looking good.
We have about a half a minute now before we're going to separate the booster. You'll see it fall away from the rocket.
Downrange, traveling at 5,300 miles per hour. Everything continues to look good. And we've just passed through the Kármán line, reaching 100 kilometers in altitude.
Okay, the von Kármán line is an altitude of 100 kilometers or 62 miles.
Everything looking good. 2 minutes to core BECO. Coming up on throttle down on the strap-ons.
Okay, stand by, look at the video. You'll be seeing the booster separate very shortly. And after that, the mid booster will power up to full power again.
cutoff. We have cutoff.
And there you can see it fall away. That's the one booster. On the other side, the other booster falling away. Now the main booster, the center or the core booster, is powering up to full power. That'll occur for about another minute. It will then shut down. The first and second stages will separate. Right after that happens, the fairing or the nose cone will open up, exposing the NROL 70 spacecraft to space. At that time, the screen will go blank, because after that, it becomes a National Reconnaissance Office mission, and again, it is a national security spacecraft.
Yeah, housing temps respond as expected on the RL-10, and we've started LH2 boost phase chill down.
The animation gives you an idea of what's going on right now. You'll be able to follow the rest of the events. The next event will be the shutting down of that core engine. After that, the first and second stages will separate. Then the second stage will begin its flight.
About 20 seconds to our next mark event, throttling down the core booster in preparation for PICO.
And that BECO is again booster engine cut off.
Yeah,
we're talking now.
So there's your big rock.
Whoa.
So this part, this is what shot it up in the air. And then where it separates, that's the second stage. Command module and the lunar lander are all part of the second stage.
We are under the World 75.
Yep. The real deal.
This thing is what, how many years old?
It's from the 1960s.
This thing is 64 years old.
Older than me.
Yeah.
No, it's probably about 60 years old. It's going to be 57.
And then my great grandfather worked on this. My great on this. It's nice to see something that my great grandfather worked on.
Yes, your great grandfather worked on that a long time ago.
It's really cool.
Yes, it is.
Rock.
Want to get some meat?
Where is it? Whoa.
Because which way are they going? They're going straight up. Okay, perfect.
humanoid robot.
Oh, you use that to drive around?
Yeah, like Apollo 14, I think, took that up and was moving around on it.
Once a rover goes up into space, it's not coming back, right?
Huh?
Once like a moon or Mars rover goes up into space, it doesn't go.
Yes,
Come
that's
back.
true.
Whoa. Is that the real capsule?
Hmm?
That's official one.
Yeah. That's the Apollo 13 capsule.
Like the real one?
The real one.
Dude, that's so
See how it's all burnt on the sides from re-entry?
Would it still be warm? Are those the real suits? Are those real?
So that's from 1963. That's 1964. That's 1967.
You were like a kid when all these.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is all big stuff.
I feel like that most stuff in the past were like, some of that stuff were like better than the stuff in the future.
Well, like SpaceX now is launching and landing on the same pad. That's kind of the equivalent of when Apollo was going on. Let's see how proud of Cat 3 is to starting. Yeah, that's we get something we go back on the other side.
No way we did that.
You go to the gift shop at the other site before you leave, unless you want to have it.
Exit to bus boardings toward the tail end of the rock.
Let's get online. It's take a while to get back, and you can see the other side, okay?
Because I figured down.
I think it's all crowd here. Looks like they're going to wait for the bus. Yep. You know what? We're going to let that crowd get out.